And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt, and this is the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about efforts at the Capitol in Sacramento dealing with violence against hospital workers. My guest this segment is Freddie Rodriguez, a member of the State Assembly from Chino. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
And I know you, for 30 years or so, have been an emergency medical technician. And so you've seen this issue up close and firsthand. Explain the problem, because I think for a lot of people who don't work inside hospitals and don't get inside hospitals that often, they don't understand that there really is a problem with violence against hospital workers.
Yes, Steve. Well, you know, over my 30-year career, which I still work part-time in the ambulance industry, I've seen numerous times where nurses, doctors, and even emergency room technicians have become physically assaulted by whether it's patients or patient family members. And also what really caught my attention was a study that done in 2009. It was over a 3-year period that showed that over 50% of nurses that were surveyed have talked about being physically assaulted by whether it's a patient or a family member. And also out of that same group, over 70% of the nurses claimed that they were verbally abused as well.
We have laws on assault. That doesn't cover it, though? They're not good enough, or?
Well, strange enough, as I find out, as I look into the issue, it seems that if an incident of violence occurs to a healthcare worker outside of a facility, the penalties are more severe versus it occurring inside the emergency room setting. So this is going to close that loophole to make them both equal, whether it's occurred inside or outside of a facility.
That's hard to believe, that the penalties are less strict inside a facility. I mean, how can that happen?
Yeah, and that's why once I found out about it, I wanted to do something about it by introducing this legislation, which would help with the facilities and the workers regarding violence. And it's something that's been brought to my attention over several years. And so hopefully this will close that loophole and be able to address that issue that our healthcare workers in the emergency room setting are facing as we speak.
Was this brought to your attention and sort of, I guess, being urged by the Nurses Association or some other associations involving hospital care workers?
Actually, just comes out of my relationship with emergency care workers, nurses in particular. You know, I was back in the district several months ago. I was talking to the nurses, and they had just told me about a recent incident that just occurred a week before. And with that, I'm like, okay, it's time we have to do something about this.
So this legislation would basically equalize the penalties? I mean, what is a penalty outside a hospital facility would be the same penalty inside?
Correct. Right. It would just equal them and close that loophole, that no matter whether it's outside a healthcare facility or, most importantly, inside the emergency room setting, that the penalties are equal.
I would imagine that in some cases, perhaps, some of these assaults or verbal abuse or whatever could be a patient having an adverse reaction to medication. And so you sort of have to take that into account.
Yes, we do, but I think more and more as we've seen more folks becoming covered by insurance, we're seeing huge influences of people visiting emergency rooms, and it's because whether they feel that they're not being cared for appropriately or may not like the outcome that as a result of them visiting the emergency room, for whatever reason, they tend to take it out on the staff in the emergency room.
I know as we tape this interview, your bill has not been heard in any committee yet. Committee hearings haven't started, but you're building momentum, you think?
Yes, I am. I do have support by the California Emergency Room Nurses Association, who's a strong supporter of it, and they've heard a lot of issues as well. So as we move forward, I believe we'll get more support going forward.
All right. Well, Assemblyman Freddie Rodriguez, thank you very much to coming by and talking about this legislation. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, My Government On Demand, and the Cal channel. Have a great day.